Hi, welcome to the tutorial for the second-hand store template. We're gonna have a quick overview of the tool, then we're gonna shift into seeing every detail. So let's start. Now we're seeing the dashboard where you can see all the information from your store, from sales, profits, the total of items, and every important information. And the most important thing is that everything is interactive. So we're gonna jump into that later. You have also the items data. Here I'm clicking down, but remember that you can always click the buttons up, whatever is more comfortable for you. So in the items data is where you put all the information from every item that you're gonna buy and sell from your store. And then you have the settings where you're gonna put all the options to make it as customizable as possible. So we're gonna start with the settings. The settings is where you will put all the possible options that are customizable for you. So uh, you you need to list all the possible answers in every column, so they will appear on the database. So there's going to be some columns in the database that are based on a selection. Let's say the first one is the status. So when you are in the items data sheet, you're gonna introduce an ID, an item ID, and then there's the status. So as you can see, there's some options that you can open here, and those are the only available options for writing this column. And the space where you put that information is exactly in the settings page. So as you can see here are the same status options, and it's the same for the size, the category, condition, photo status, publish status, delivery method, delivery status, the platform, or the consequent payment status. Of course, if there's something that doesn't apply to you, don't worry, you can just leave it as it is or just put nothing. The only thing that it's better to, so you will not move, it's the ones that are marked in gray. These words, this status, are important because they are going to be in the dashboard. As you can change that word, but in the dashboard will not change the word. So these five icons that you can see here in the dashboard are these five status that you can see here. So whenever you put something as sold in the items data, it's gonna be part of the counting of the percentage of sold items here. Same as photo taken, published items, delivered items, paid items, etc. So that is the important thing in the settings. Of course, this is the example for a second-hand store for clothing, but you can change it for everything that you are selling in your store. Instead of size, maybe you have all boxes, or you have some kind of different size of tables or chairs or whatever you're selling. You can change it here and just customize here all the information. And you can have all these rows to put information. If you need to add more, you simply just need to add above this line. So here, right click and just insert. And you can have more rows and there's no problem. If you just move this, it will not work in the items data. So that's important thing about here. As you can see, always you have these buttons, the dashboard, the items data, the settings, and you always can jump and ask for support. You'll send us a form and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Then we're going to jump to the items data. Here you have an explanation all the time whenever you're not sure of what information to put in every one of the columns. So there's a hint here. You can open here and there's some explanation for everything. So every column has its own explanation, so don't worry about it. You can always close it, and here you have the button for that. From this rows, every row is going to be an item. So let's say there's a first item that it arrives, it's still available. This is a floral summer dress. There's a brand, a color, a material. As I told you, this is an example of clothing, but you can put that information in every item that you are selling. And of course, if you don't want to fill up all that information, it's okay. No worries. There's just the status are very important, so you can have information in the dashboard, and you need to have always an item ID, even if it's the one that comes from default, that is this one, and the item description. You have here a list of 100, but you can always add more, just adding a row here. You can add more and more and more, whatever you want. Here you see that there are 100 listed, but it's not limited at all. So all this information is open. The only one that I told you is the status that you need to open here, the size that you already saw it in the settings, the category, which kind of category are you going to select for these items, and the kind of condition, if it's new, it's like new, good, and you can write here any details so you can have track for that. It will not appear in the reports. Also the source, if you want to put it. This is very important to register the cost price. So if you're buying, let's say, a box of dresses and you don't know exactly how much it was this dress, what I recommend you is just divide the total cost of the box, divided under the number of dresses. So you'll have a cost per dress if you don't have a specific price for that specific item. But it's very important to have something in here. Or if you put zero, let's say that it's your personal clothes or something that some friend just gave it to you, you can put zero, and then everything is going to be profit. So you also going to put an expected selling price. That doesn't mean that it's going to be the actual selling price. There's a column for that. If it's the same, no worries, you can put the same, but you have the options to have both. And the expected profit, as you can see, this column is in a different color, so you don't need to write anything in here. This is going to be calculated from these other columns, so don't worry about this, just don't move it. So you'll have always expected profit calculated for you. It's important to write also the acquire date, even if it's not very precise. You can put just the first of the month, every month that you acquire some items, but it's important to have some information there so you can filter after and have the control of that. And then there's the photo status, if you already take the photo, or it's pending, or whatever status that you put in your settings. Also the publish status that you're going to select if it's published or it need to be reposted. The collection, if you make some collections to publish your items, you can put it there, and then you're going to see them in the dashboard also. And then there's it's an open column, so there's no need to set that. Just it's important to put the same name every time you have the same collection, so it will count as one. The publish date and the last repost, those just if you want to have more control and if that applies. What is very important is to put the date sold, so you can filter the items that are sold or not by the date. You're gonna see that in the dashboard. Also the sold price, this is the actual sold price, and the buyer information if you want it. Here's a name, but you can put also email or whatever. You can also add columns as you wish. There's no problem with the dashboard. You will have no problem for that. The delivery fee, it's just if it's an additional cost for you. If not, don't put anything. The delivery status you can also choose if it's delivered or it's pending or it's in progress, if you're gonna have control of that. Also, you can choose the platform you're using to publish that item. So if you have several platforms, don't worry, you can put in the settings, you can put one option that are different platforms together. So you can have that covered like that. There's some items when you do some drifting and secondhand that are by consignee. So here you have the name, so you can have control of that. And if you already paid him or not, his part, of course, the amount paid, it will be the cost from your item. So there's no need to put it again. And here is again a different color, so you don't need to do anything. There is the actual profit for sold items. So if you haven't sold that item, if you don't have a sold date and a sold price, you'll have this legend, no sold price. And if you have, you'll have the actual profit there. So this is how you're gonna interact with the items data, and then we're gonna see the dashboard. So in the dashboard, you have very important information, and we're gonna see all of it. And the important thing is that everything is interactive. You can select from all these filters all the time, and it will show you different information. So first, you have the total sales. This is in general, total profit also in general, and the total items listed. So if you want, let's say, just the sold items, you can see them here, that you'll see 9 sold items. You can see that the 15% of the 60 items are sold. Or you can also just filter the sold items here, just clicking, and you can have all the information just for the items. So as you can see, the 100% are sold, of course, because there's total items just 9, that it's the 9 sold items, and all the information from the dashboard is with that filter applied. So if you want to select more than one filter, you just click Control, and you're gonna have all the information. It takes just a few seconds to charge all the information. And as you can see, now you have 21 items, including the pending and the sold, and you have here also divided by condition. If it's new, like new, whatever conditions you made, you see the percentage already changed, and all the information here. So you can, let's say, just select the pending ones and just in a new condition. So you just click there, and then you're gonna click the new one. Of course, if you select pending, you have no sales, so there's no profit, no sales, but you have 12 items here. And of course, there are no sold items. That is why it's like an error there. And there's not like new, but there's new. If there's no information, it will appear like that. So it says that you don't have like new pending items. That is why you don't see anything there. And if you want to reset all your filters, you just need to click on every filter that you did in here, and it's gonna be clear the filters. So again, here you did a filter of pending and new, and you have a total of 6 items, and these are the expected cost and sales or profits for these items in every month. And you can see that these are from these collections, the winter and the boho collection, and you can see here the categories. That is sweaters. You have 3 that are sweaters and 3 that are dresses, and you can have all the filters. So again, if you want to just get rid of the filters, you just click over there and you'll see again the complete information. And because it's a lot of information, it's gonna take just a few seconds, but after that it's gonna be ready. Okay, so if you have some items that you listed but there's no name, it's gonna be like in blank here. And as you can see, there's a total of 100. That includes all the ones that are not really listed, so it's better that I just select the other status, so I don't have any blank items and I can see the information as it should be. So here you have the information of the 60 items again, and you can see at the top the percentages. Let's say you have 50% of the 60 items as items sold. As you can see, those are 9. From the 60 items, 80% you already take the photo, so the rest you haven't, so you have some work to do there. And of course you can see that information filtered here. It's very easy. You just go to the column you want to filter. Let's say published. So you want to see just the ones that are not published yet, so you can focus on them. And here you just filter and you have the information there. That is very easy for every column. So I'm jumping again to the dashboard, and same for published, delivered items, and the ones that are already paid for your consignees or not. As you can see, you can compare here the expected cost, sales, and profits by acquired date. So you'll see every month, and you can go and see this as just the years or by month, just by clicking here the plus and the minus button. The same here in the actual cost, and of course you also can filter the data of everything in the dashboard by date acquired or by date sold. Of course, if you put date sold and there's no item sold, so you'll have no information. And as you can see here, you can choose by filtering by quarters, by month, by years. So if I just want information, let's say from May, so I'm just gonna click here, and it's gonna charge the chart, so you'll see all the data just from May, and you can drag this line to have more or less information. Depends on which months you want to see. So let's say in May you have this amount of sales, this amount of profits, and 13 items. You just sold 1 item of the 13, and it was one in good condition. Here, as you can see, you'll see just the month. You were expected to sell 7,000, but you're actually selling 300. But of course, this is by acquired date and this is by sold date, so you need to have that take that into account. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't doubt you can contact us in the support button all the time. And I hope you enjoy your template. Thank you.